Item number 18 is a letter dated September 26, 2015, from Rachel Missel of 23 Cypress Avenue, along with 40 others of the same form letter signed by Shrewsbury residents regarding the Algonquin Gas Transmission LLC Northeast Gas Pipeline Project. So noted. Item 19, email dated September 29, 2015, from Brian Moss of 16 Ruthin Circle regarding a request to meet with the board. Mr. Moss's letter was a request to meet with the board to discuss the Algonquin Gas Transmission Pipeline as noted in the previous item number 18. Dan, maybe this is a good time, if you wouldn't mind, to take a moment to explain what the town's involvement has been. The gas pipeline, with the gas pipeline, sort of the history of that, and specifically what the town's involvement to date has been.
Sure. The board has really been involved at two levels. The first level is as a landowner. The pipeline folks, Spectra Energy, have sent notification out to, I think, 400 property owners in Shrewsbury within the corridor, study corridor. And so Shrewsbury, being a landowner, we own several parcels along the proposed route. We're notified. The other involvement is you had a presentation here a few weeks ago from a gentleman from Spectra was here, Eversource was here, and some other folks as well. So they're currently doing the survey work in the area. I authorized, we're cooperating with them as several of the landowners along the route are, to the extent that they're surveying and getting a sense of the lay of the land. There'll be a public meeting on Thursday night at the Italian American Club, 5:30. Which I will be attending. I know some members of the board are attending as well to learn more about the pipeline project. So that's been our involvement to date. We're still in a information collecting mode, hearing what they have to say, the background on the proposal and why the proposal should be supported. I have been meeting with residents. In fact, I had a person come by today who have been notified, some very close to the corridor. I've encouraged them to attend the meeting on Thursday night. And my suggestion to the board is that after Thursday night's meeting, we continue to consider the proposal and go from there. As it stands right now, there is no local permitting, as far as the pipeline is concerned. That's strictly a federal matter. If the project is constructed, then obviously our involvement would be through our Conservation Commission, because they would be required to make the necessary filings. We would participate to that to the extent that town of Shrewsbury would be landowners, obviously. I don't know, I haven't done any legal review of the structure of the easements that New England Power currently has on town property as to whether or not additional easements will be required or not. I think when we get to, if the project gets to that point, that's something that would have to be studied. As if you recall, the proposal was to try to make use, to the greatest extent possible, the New England Power right-of-way. It's trying to stay within that boundary when at all possible. But that was their proposal when we last heard it several weeks ago. So I don't know what they're going to be saying on Thursday night, and I'll be attending to hear what they have to say.
Okay. All right. So, I think the purpose of the Board of Selectmen's meeting is to conduct the business before the board. And from time to time, we will have public hearings, or we will have public meetings and invite people in if we feel we need additional information. My feeling is at this point regarding Mr. Moss's request that we've received the 40 form letters, read them. I think they very clearly state the positions of individuals who submitted the form letters. We have a petition that's been received to place an opposition article on the special town meeting warrant. As Mr. Morgado noted, we have the public hearing that Algonquin will actually hold on Thursday. So that's October 13th, Italian-American Victory Club, 5:30 to 7:30 p.m. for people who are interested and would like to attend. So I agree. I think we're very much still in the information gathering stage. We understand there are people opposed. We also understand there are many people who support this. And so we need to sort of go through adequate, what we would call due process. This is not a board that sort of has knee-jerk reactions to things. I think we're very thoughtful and consider, again, all perspectives. And I think because we're just in that phase that at some point in time we may decide it's in our interest to have a public hearing, and at that point it would be appropriate to invite anyone who has a position or something to say about it to attend at that time. So.
Madam
That would
Chairman.
be my feeling on that. But
I think you're right on. As soon as you got word of this from our state delegation, you summoned the board for a special meeting in August so that we could get the proponents before the residents of Shrewsbury at the earliest practical moment. I think you're also right on target in that you've invited Congressman McGovern to any one of our meetings, because this is in fact this will be a federally reviewed and federally permitted project. So I think you're on target relative to an approach. You've been more than upfront in making sure everything that any of us knew was clear to the public as broadcasted through SPAC. I think the interaction with the congressman will be very helpful to ensure FERC pays particular attention, given the fact that the proponents are proposing to bore under a variety of bodies of water. So I think we're on target. I think we're working through it. We'll hear what they have to say on Thursday night. Obviously, as a result of the footwork of some in town, town meeting will have its open an opportunity to discuss it at our upcoming special as well. So I think we're on target relative to where we should be to ensuring the community is getting every bit as much information as we have.
Mr. Powell?
I agree with Mr. Kane. I think it's a bit too early to be having public hearings on this. We don't have a definitive proposal as to where the pipeline is going to go. As you said, I don't think we're a knee-jerk reaction board. I would rather hold off until we have some specifics, other than, we think we're going to go up the transmission line. So I understand this is a long process. We have plenty of time after we have more information to get some public input. I wouldn't be in favor of having a discussion right now.
I agree. I don't have anything new to add to the conversation, but I certainly agree with the sentiment of the board. Could you kindly just restate the date, time, and place? I may have misheard you. I want to make sure I have it right.
For the Algonquin pub?
Yeah.
So when we say Algonquin, we'll be clear, it's Algonquin, gas. So we're not talking about Algonquin High School in Northborough. So this is their public hearing, which will be held October 3rd, Wednesday. No, Thursday. Oh, do I have the wrong date on here?
Yeah.
Oh, I'm sorry. Okay, so it'll be held Thursday,
Thursday the 15th.
October 15th, at the Italian-American Victory Club, which is in Shrewsbury, 5:30 to 7:30 p.m. Italian-American Victory Club is on Dewey Road, for folks who may not be familiar with that.
Thank you.
Thank you for pointing that out. Definitely have the wrong date on here.
Madam Chairman,
Yes.
I would also encourage people who might be coming to this a little later to go back on the SPAC system, and I think it was August 18th that we had that special meeting.
Yes.
So I thought that was a very thorough presentation right out of the gate. Hopefully they'll even have a higher degree of specificity later this week. But that, I still think, even though it's a couple of months old, is a valuable starting point for people who are finding themselves coming to this perhaps a little later than they would otherwise hope.
It's an excellent point. So that's Shrewsbury Media. You can go online, and all television programming in Shrewsbury is available online at that location, at Shrewsbury Media website. And it's an excellent point, because I think you get a fuller picture of why it's being proposed. And again, it's a larger issue that we have to think about here in terms of people in town who also do not have adequate heating. They're not receiving adequate heating services right now due to issues with the ability to, to have a sufficient gas supply. So, okay, so that one is done. Item